Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man, and as always, I thank you guys coming to my channel. I'm going to quickly do a update to the video I just posted about maybe 30 minutes ago. It's entitled the eBay / Guitar Center Nightmare, the electronic drum kit, and just to kind of go over, what I touched on in that video is I bought a drum kit, electronic drum kit off of eBay, and I'm just not gonna go into the Guitar Center story. And it showed up parts are missing. The kick drum did not have the spring mechanism, so I immediately packed it back up, contacted the seller the same day I got and said, hey, parts are missing. This is not working. It's going back. So then they threw at me, or she threw at me, I got unfortunately no items return policy. I'm like, yeah, you think you do. What most people don't realize on eBay is eBay has a policy to protect the buyer so you don't get screwed, so they override that nonsense. The only time that might be acceptable, as far as I'm not accepting returns, is when you're buying software, because you can easily make a copy of it and send it back and get your money back. But as far as something like a drum machine or drum kit that don't have all the parts, yeah, you're gonna send this back and get your money back. So also I noticed, and I should have took heed warning to this, and this is one of my pet peeves, everything is not included, because she mentioned that also the power supply is not included. I'm like, here we go with this nonsense. You sell stuff with parts missing. I'm like, hey, okay, that's not a big deal, because I can buy one off of eBay, which is what you should have done. Bought one, put it in your kit and say it's fully functional, all the parts are here, and still I got to go outside of this deal to get a part for this deal, and that cost me like $12. So I'm like, it's not a big deal. But I think back on that, maybe I should have just abandoned that deal altogether, because if you don't have the power supply, how can you test it? So I'm just going on faith that there was no mention that, okay, the power supply is missing and I don't know if this works, so I'm trying to avoid, because I'm like, it was an inconvenience. It made me mad that this person think that they're going to keep my $300 and I keep some junk that don't work, so I'm still trying to be nice about this and say, okay, I got my money back. It was an inconvenience, but I'm just going to leave it alone at this point. I got my money. You got your item. I'm not even going to leave you any feedback, even though you deserve negative feedback. So I get a message today. Oh, yeah, I got it back, but some of the parts are missing. I'm like, first of all, how would you know if some of the parts missing, since you're not a drummer and you've never tested this? But I told her everything that I got, down to the smallest washer, was sent back. I have no reason to keep any of this junk because I can't use it. So I'm like, I know this is a lie, so I'm like, based on that, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to give you the appropriate feedback. And this ain't got nothing to do with being retaliating. It's just being truthful and letting other people know. Don't deal with this person, because they selling stuff they don't even test. Because many years ago, there was a publication long before the internet where it was called a trading time. Musicians sold musician equipment, meaning that if you sold me a guitar, you played that guitar. You sold me drums, you a drummer, you played those drums. Now people on eBay are getting items out of storage lockers, estates. They don't know nothing about these items. They haven't tested them because they don't have the ability to test them, or get anybody to at least test it for them, and just throw it up there on eBay and slap a price up there. And that's exactly what this person did. This person obviously was not a drummer, obviously didn't play the kit, because if you did, you would know that the kick pedal not working. And then how could you test it or play it if you don't have the power supply? So at this point, I said, okay, I'm going to give her appropriate feedback, because I was, again, going to leave it alone. So then I did that. Then something told me this is what's going to happen. This is what happened. I look up 20 minutes later, because with the seller, you can only leave positive feedback or no feedback. Okay. I mean, the buyer, you can't leave negative feedback on the buyer. So she took it upon herself to leave me negative feedback in the positive feedback, if that makes sense to you. So I contacted eBay, explained the situation. They said, yeah, the seller cannot do that. They cannot leave negative feedback in the positive feedback. category. Slack, just can't do it. So they're gonna remove it within an hour. But I just thought I would post this because people need to be aware to deal on, buy and sell on eBay, how it works. Because again, you cannot leave negative feedback to the buyer. You can't do it. Even though you want to put some negative in there and send it off as positive, they're going to take it down. So I just thought I would post this video because there was absolutely no reason for her to have done what she did. Because again, I did not send her back partial item that, she sold me. Everything that I got was sent back. Every single piece was sent back. So, I guess in the future right now, I'm just going to hold off on the electronic drum kit, because even though I did find one, and the buyer or the person that's going to sell it to the company, they're extremely reputable. They do test their stuff before they ship it out. They're not like Guitar Center, parts missing. They just box it up and send it. Nobody tested it. Sometime on eBay, they box it up and just send it to you and claim that it worked, and it doesn't work. But for the, I guess, time being, I'm just going to bag off for the drum thing for the moment, and maybe down the line a little later I'll probably pick up some. But I just thought I would post this follow-up video because you can't do what this person tried to do. There's some people that don't realize how eBay works. They think that they can write up their own little policies, and it's going to be, etched in stone, and then they get a rude awakening because this individual seriously thought that they want to keep my money, and I keep the item that they sold me that was not working, So until next time, take care, and thanks for watching.